Solid waste management, a topic which we don't pay much attention to but has a crucial role in our day to day life. Today, we'll see how solid waste is managed in Bangalore, the problems, and the potential solutions for them. About Bangalore city. The area of the city is 741 square kilometer. The population is 1.4 crores. The sex ratio is 961 females per 1000 males, followed by the literacy rate of 87%. Bangalore is home to almost 1,400 IT firms, which generate an employment of 1.5 million jobs. These 1.4 crore people consume food, clothing, electronics, and generate almost 4,500 to 5,000 tons of garbage daily. So, how is solid waste managed in Bangalore? Firstly, these workers collect solid waste from each and every household. Then they transfer it to the small tipper trucks and later transfer it to the big compactors. These compactors contain almost 10 to 12 tons of solid waste. These compactors collect solid waste from 198 different wards and transfer it to this landfill site, which is located almost 40 kilometers from the city. Landfills are nothing but these big pits dug by the government in order to dump this mixed waste. It is dumped in this pit and let to decompose. Remember, this solid waste is mixed, so some of it is dry, some of it is wet. It has a negative impact on the environment, makes soil polluted, and also pollutes the nearby environment as well. In a waste management system, ideally, the first step is collection. Solid waste is collected from each and every household, followed by segregation. It is segregated as dry waste, wet waste, and others. In the case of dry waste, it's taken to the processing station where recyclables are sent to specific companies, non-recyclables are sent to cement companies. In case of wet waste, it is processed and is converted into methane or used for composting. In case of untreated waste, it's sent to landfill sites. Now you might be tempted to think, is it possible for a city to undergo all these processes, all these steps and achieve no landfill? Well, you don't have to look far. The city Indore has already been doing it, in which they have achieved perfect collection, segregation, processing, and almost nothing goes to landfill. Now we were able to interview Mr. Manish, who has been a resident of Indore for the past 30 years, who has seen the transformation of Indore from a not so clean city to the cleanest city of India. When it comes to solid waste management, it has ranked first multiple times in Swachh Sarvekshan. So, how does this waste management work at an household level in Indore? If you can give a brief.
It's just the wet garbage, the compost, and the dry garbage. We keep it in two different bins, and after that, our job is done. Now, what is basically done is all those things they are taken away into the waste management area where it is segregated, and then they do all such stuff. The segregation is done there only.
What do you think are the major challenges, or why could not Bangalore do what Indore did, even with more resources and more money than Indore?
That since Indore is not as big as compared to Bangalore. So here, since it is a small city, it is not as big compared. Therefore, I think that it's just because of the awareness of the people. Like people here are educated and we are being told that it's better to segregate all those things because it becomes easier for the people there also to separate those stuff. That's the reason that I feel personally that this has really done for the last 7 years consecutively. For the last 7 years, we have been in the first position. And that also creates the sense of being at number one creates also an awareness of the people that we should be at number one as well. So that tempo.
The key takeaways from the interview was, number one, public awareness. Public awareness is very important, which calls for a public awareness campaign by the government. If public is involved, the response is better. Sarvekshan ranking he was mentioning was an annual competition that takes place every year where every city is ranked based on cleanliness. He also mentioned the size of Indore city, which is smaller as compared to Bangalore, which calls for solutions like ward level solid waste management plan, such that garbage is treated at a ward level and lesser garbage comes out from every ward. One such application is already been implemented by IIM Bangalore's collaboration with SAS Zero Waste, where garbage is collected, processed, and treated at the institute level itself. Segregated, and the workers use various equipments to sort garbage, and basically they segregate it as recyclable, non-recyclable, dry waste, wet waste. As per my research and personal experience of working in this sector, cleanliness of a city depends on the willingness of the government. Bangalore has all the resources and funds to invest in processing and disposal technology. It's just how serious the government is. We have seen in the case of Indore, if government initiates a campaign, the public will support it. Currently in Bangalore, the sweepers, helpers and people at disposal sites are not paid. Projects for building processing plants are unnecessarily delayed, and funds are not dispersed for vehicle purchase and maintenance. No public awareness campaign is run. Bangalore doesn't need a groundbreaking solution to solve its problem. It just needs to have a proper ward level waste management plan so that maximum waste is processed and landfill is reduced. In this way, we can solve Bangalore's solid waste management problem.